All
Thanks
right.
for doing this.
You betcha.
Very kind.
You betcha. So this is MERLOT Voices, and we went ahead and created New Hampshire Digital Equity for Financial, Economic, and Education Inclusion. And once you become a member of MERLOT Voices, which is totally free, it's totally optional, but you can create your own community if you'd like to for a different topic or in a different area. We could create sub-communities out of here. As you'll see on the right side of my page here are some other communities that are actually that I'm a part of. And I know Robbie's a part of the HBCU, and Jerry Hanley's been working with HBCUs quite a bit with MERLOT. You see we have the ALS, the Affordable Learning Solutions Impact Community. We've got some other skills commons communities and things like that, some things for voices for nursing for skills commons. And you can feel free to join those if those are into your interest area. But for our immediate purposes, what we've done is we've gone ahead and created this page and kind of like this landing page here as with information in it about the initiatives and things like that behind the digital equity, collaboration and things like that. So, Bob, I took a lot of this just off of the website that you guys have there for digital equity. And then, just kind of put that content here, but we can always edit and revise this content, update it, things like that. And I'll show you, in fact, once you become a member, Bob, for your sake, you could even become an administrator of this site if you wanted to. Otherwise, you could just send updates and things like that to me, and I could, make those edits and things like that. So none of this is permanent in the sense that it can be, updated and revised. It's like really intuitive and just super easy to work with. And so we can, continue to scrub and clean it up as needed. I put a link here to the website that we built for New Hampshire Digital Equity Summit, and we'll click there after a minute. But I just wanted to kind of show you a couple of other things real quick about when you join the MERLOT Voices for New Hampshire. Some of the things that you have access to, like you can add a text box and add a comment, or you could ask a question that would go to the rest of the group, and folks can answer that question. They can actually add another discussion if they wanted to, a question of their own. And then here, I just put this in for new folks that might want to join MERLOT Voices. And these are the instructions on how to do it and kind of walk you through that process. So if you haven't, joined MERLOT Voices up to this point, follow these simple 4 easy steps here. And if you have any questions ever, just shoot me an email at rlumadou@calstate.edu. And I can, Bob, I'll give you that email address, and you can send that out with the video link when we're done here after we get the recording. All right.
That's fabulous. Thank you.
And then, like, for example, I just put how to register for the upcoming webinar that we're having right now. And so, Bob, like, if you have announcements and things like that, you can post those here, and folks can get those if they're, part of this group and this community, all that sort of thing. So that's kind of the landing page and kind of some of the quick stuff that you'll see when you come to the MERLOT Voices for New Hampshire Digital Equity. Let me just pause right there. I know that was a lot of information, and I may have skipped over some things that seem like, they're obvious to me, but I know people are new to this. So if there's questions at this point, please don't hesitate to ask. There's no bad or dumb questions. All questions are good questions. And so it may be something that someone else is thinking about. So let me pause there and see if there's any comments or questions at this point.
This is Stan Fried. I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
The box there with the members says there's 4 members. That's for this group here?
That is correct. That's correct. That's the 4 people that have joined this group.
Oh, because I thought I joined it last week, and I'm not one of those 4 people.
Okay.
I thought I joined it too. So maybe we just joined the MERLOT generally, you think?
I was a member of MERLOT before, so I just logged in and joined the Voices group, I thought, but perhaps I didn't.
That's what I'm thinking too, Stan, for me as well.
Oh, that's good to know. Very interesting. Yeah, these are the 4 members that are part of this group at this point. So, so I will definitely check on that. In fact, let me do this right now. I'll invite members because this is something that we should probably kind of show you as well. If you want, this is something that you would like to do to invite people. You just click that. Let me go back there to invite more people. So Bob, can you just give me your email address real quick?
Sure, it's R. McLaughlin, RMCLAUGHLIN at Digital Equity, one word, digitalequity.us. I like the invite. That's very nice. So that now, can I type in? Can I invite? For example, I've got a spreadsheet with the 85 registrants of the New Hampshire Summit. Can I paste them in as a list? And would that go to them, or do I just separate them by a comma, or what's the format to invite multiple people?
Great question. I do not know because I've never attempted to do that.
Sure.
But I can check on it and see if that's
that'd be lovely. Yeah, because I'm thinking if we can invite them, that would be really nice, right? And then and that would that so when they respond to that, they come right back to the right link to join. Am I right in thinking that?
Correct. Yep. That's right.
So that might solve that problem, Stan, that you and I experienced. That might solve that really well. And the other thing I noticed, by the way, Rick, to jump ahead a little bit, I saw that there, I was going to ask you, but then I saw that there is a send a message to the group link there,
right
which was one of my questions, which is great because then this provides a nice unified space for keeping people informed as well as adding people in who weren't able to get to the summit or who are interested.
Yep. Perfect.
Great. This is great. Thank you.
Can I ask a question? Did you both of you, Stan and Bob, did you join Merlot Voices or did you just use your Merlot account to log in to Merlot Voices?
I joined Merlot Voices myself.
All right. Yeah, then did you get a confirmation email and follow that confirmation email? Because you should have received a confirmation email. Like here, you'll receive an email asking you to confirm your registration with Merlot Voices. And I'm wondering if perhaps it maybe went to a spam or a junk folder if you didn't.
Could well be. I'll double check that. Stan, what about for yourself?
I just joined. I logged in my Merlot account and then I joined Voices, but I thought that would automatically get me in the group because I followed the link for invite. But it didn't. I just joined up, and you should be able to see that I am. It does say you have 5 members now, so I did show up on both.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember seeing an invitation. Can you resend to me? This is Gary.
Yeah, Gary, I'll need your email address or.
I just chatted it to you.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Nice.
Gotcha. All right. Good. All right, I'll go here. Try this again. Okay, something is not right here. That isn't letting me do it. Yeah, I'm going to have to check on this because that's not working properly. All right, we'll get that ironed out, and I will get back to you both on that. Okay.
Okay.
That's great. Thank you.
Bob, did you say you saw 5 members in this group now?
I did. I'm all set.
No, I think Stan said he did. I think we're good on that.
I'm showing up as a member now.
Okay. I might need to refresh or something.
Yeah,
all
probably.
right. Okay, good.
Yeah.
All right. We'll get that ironed out, that piece. So yeah, these will be the members. Something else that's really kind of cool is you can add pages. So for example, if you would like to add something about digital equity, for example, Bob, coming up in Massachusetts, we could have a different page for Massachusetts than we do for New Hampshire and have specific just for that group. And then you can just go here and create a page. And to show you what that looks like, I'll take you to one of the other groups that we have going, which is in the nursing group. And here what the pages will look like when they come up. So right now we have 4 pages in there. So we have like just some things that we put in here, like the goals for this group. Okay, that's one of the pages. And then skills commons resources for nurses community, and quick links here, and how people can get quick shortcuts to certain things that they might want to find about how to reuse the content in Skills Commons, those types of things. So just as a kind of a overview there, and then here how to create your own Skills Commons, MERLOT Voices, community. And I might just copy and put this in our group, the New Hampshire group, and then we'll have it. There you are, Stan. Got you in there. And then, add that page so that if folks join our group and they want to create a sub community or they're, a different community outside of what we're doing here, they'll have the instructions on how to do that. But that's kind of a wide open opportunity there on the pages, adding more pages to this group than what we have here just on the front page. So let me pause there.
So Rick, that would be, so that additional page would be associated with this New Hampshire group then, in other words?
Exactly. Yep.
That's
so
great. Wow, that's fabulous.
Yeah, it would appear like over here to the, like if we look at the Voices for Nursing by Skills Commons, so then it would be right on that same page, right there, and then we'd be listed.
This is really, looks very, very clearly laid out.
Yeah. And also, if you ever put something in the, when you go to edit or something and you, oh man, I messed up or I didn't want to do that, you can always go back in and edit the group. And so you can rename things, and you saw a spelling error or something like that. I didn't even proof this, or maybe an error, in there or something, or grammar or something. Or I wanted to update, this morning I came in and updated the content builder site because we revised it and actually put it on a different template, use a different template. So I wanted to update that. And then at the bottom, you want to make sure if you do changes, you always click save. Okay. You always want to make sure that you do save on that. All right. And one other thing I wanted to say about this too is that everything is this group right at this point is open. Everything's public, so people don't have to be approved to join this group at this point. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll just make it wide open to everyone.
This is a great tool. This is a really lovely tool.
Yeah. So that's a cool little feature there. Let's see. Again, you can edit the box that you did or a discussion forum. Like Bob, I just did this as a, just kind of as an example, this first discussion forum. So, yes, MERLOT can, do these types of things for you if you're looking for certain things, and, just kind of add some more information and all that sort of thing. And I can upload files if I wanted to, attach a file, a Word document or a PDF, something like that. And then you can click on add to reply to it.
So, okay, so now you have edit privileges on this, right?
So I have administrator privileges, but once you join, you can have edit privileges on any of these pieces right down here. The administrator piece would give you opportunity, Bob, if you wanted it, and I can definitely do that once you join. Is then you can come up here and edit the home page and stuff like that, and
yeah, that would be good if you could. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Because that'll make it because I don't want to add to your
Sure.
burden on this.
Yep.
And there will often be updates that, like a new event that's coming up and things like that. This will be a great page to point folks to. And now that I understand this, we can certainly point to it from our website as well.
Yep. Excellent.
It's really good. And I can see this as a tool set moving forward for each of the state summits.
Yep.
And we may be doing some urban summits next year, because we're getting one national bank that's agreed to finance the refurbishment and donation of over 5,000 computers a year.
Wow.
Going to low and moderate income learners of all ages in 7 cities. So we're hoping that we can persuade that national bank to sponsor an urban, city summit in each of those cities to really kick that off. And so this is going to be a really, really valuable tool set so we need to think about, having individual, summit conversations, but also a national conversation that stitches at some point, right?
Yeah, which is, we could make this, we could even change this to the national page and then have, pages for the regional or state pages like New Hampshire, Massachusetts, whatever, the Northeast or something like, however it's going to come out. But we could add sub-pages.
That would be, Yeah, why don't we do that? Let's go ahead and that sounds like an excellent way to go.
Okay. Yep. And then
that's excellent.
Here for now, we have this website on here, which is that content builder site that we built for you folks. And you kind of given a high overview of what you guys are doing there. There's a link here to the digital equity, to your site as well. And then, if you want that, link to go to a different landing page, we can change that too. But for now, we just have it to go to that page that's there. And then these are hyperlinks as well. And then I got your, a couple of the, documents that you sent out to the group after the summit, posted here as attachments that folks can look at. And then, just again, resources and things like that are available quickly for folks to look at. And then you just can kind of look on this left side and, just kind of go through. There's Robbie's, site with Apopedia there. Just all the different resources that are available, the one-stop shop for OER material, quick link to that, on Skills Commons, and it'll take you there. And then some showcase of innovative strategies, what's going on in Skills Commons as far as, related to the labor workforce and things like that, and some things that may be of use and helpful to people, in different areas. And then we have the information about, what the Digital Equity Summit's goals are. Again, Bob, these are from your site, and then a little bit of information about New Hampshire related to TAC and what they did and accomplished there.
Now, is that program sunsetting now? Are they not going to do any more funding for additional materials to be developed under TAC?
Correct. Yeah, that just the September 30th was the deadline for TAC grantees to upload their content to Skills Commons. We'll have a few that are going to continue to upload, but the majority of them are done. They're pretty much, completed. Yeah. Yep. So I'm going to go back to the MERLOT Voices. And again, Bob, we have the link back to MERLOT Voices here. So it's kind of neat. We can go back and forth between places.
That's great.
Yeah. But again, we can add more things, as needed. Like I said, with the pages and all that. And so Bob, you and I maybe can get together offline, and you can, give me some instruction on, how you maybe want the pages laid out, or once you get administrator privileges and, you kind of get comfortable with it and stuff like that, you can do a lot of that too. But I'm here to help.
That would be really, really kind, Rick. And I know that we want to really sort of explore more of the functionality on this particular webinar, but I did want to flag, Robbie, for you and for Rick and Jerry and the rest of us on this call that are on the call right now, that I think we ought to be looking at a special new space in MERLOT Voices in conjunction with this refurbishment program with this national bank. I think this might be a way to help showcase this as a tool set that's going to be useful to support that national bank in implementing this distribution and support for donated computers in those 7 cities. And Robbie, if any of those are HBCU cities, we ought to talk about that as well.
Yes, Bob, this is Robbie, and again, glad to hear from you. Also, as you are moving forward with these various corporations, banks, and whatever regarding the hardware, by Rick having this portal set up regarding the content, it will help, I'm sure, for them to see that we are addressing this from both sides, not only the hardware, but the content. And that should be a win-win for them.
Amen. That's what I'm thinking too, Robbie. And I think also with your apps, you know, the information about the Win 10 apps, because these will be Win 10 computers.
Yes.
Plus those states that, by the way, you know, Rick, as we know, there are some states that are doing consortium purchasing of academic deep web databases. So that for every learner in a state, if they have a library card from a school or public library or their university or their state library, then they can access, you know, all that information. That's something we'll want to have the link to that on a state page in each of these cities. So this is I agree, Robbie. I see lots of uses of this tool combined with the expertise that you and Jerry and everybody have worked so hard to put together.
Yeah, and Bob, too, I wanted to mention about like these graphics and stuff like that. Like this can be changed. It's something we threw up, you know, pretty quick just to get an image up there, you know, from your site. But like we can change this image as well, and you know, get something a little bit nicer maybe. You can also add, you know, graphics, you know, inside of here. Some of our other pages will demonstrate that. Like here's the nursing one for the gear, but like here, like you can see that, like you could just put this whole like picture in here and it's linked, right? So this is stuff where it takes people right to the healthcare stuff inside of Skills Commons, and it'll give them a list, right? 96 hits within Skills Commons. So there's things like that that we can do as well that makes it maybe just a little bit more user-friendly, a better experience, that type of thing. So, you know, there are things, you know, that we can do to make it a better customized experience as well.
Yeah.
I just wanted to share those to you just to get your juices flowing there. How you thinking about stuff?
Yeah, I'm definitely drooling copiously.
All right, great. Is there, Bob, would there be anything else, or Gary, that you're looking for from Merlot Voices that you didn't see or that I didn't touch on?
No, it's new to me, so
yeah,
carry on.
Yeah, this is great. So thank you for taking all these questions and going in all these highways and byways, you know, on this. But it seems like a very straightforward tool, which is just perfect, right? Straightforward. We like straightforward, don't we?
Yeah.
It's really very usable.
Yes. And Robbie, is there anything you want to add?
Yes, I do. Also, as you know, this is the Merlot Voices. This is just part of the whole umbrella of open education resources. And I just want to share that regardless of the ending of some of the particular grants, Merlot has been around for over 25 years, and it's not going away. So if you remember that you have your regular, what we call the academic side of Merlot, which now takes in K-12 as we start to build all the way up to Skills Commons, your workforce development, this is what educators have been wanting for years, where they can go and gather free and quality learning objects, lesson plans, simulation, name it, where at any time, any place, anywhere in the world, you can access this information. So just wanted to leave you all with, we are not going away. We're going to be here until education is available to everyone. So life is good.
Well,
Great.
amen on that, Robbie. I'd like to add for your to see if I could help get everybody's juices flowing too, some more. And this would be an amazing group to run this wild and crazy idea by. So there's a tool that academic libraries use, and you may have seen it even if you didn't know the name of it, because a lot of academic libraries that do virtual reference desks, they use this tool by a company called SpringShare, and the tool is called LibChat or Library Chat, and it allows so that for example, a lot of major state land grant universities will have this tool, and I would not be surprised if Cal State, for example, uses this. And it's a tool where somebody goes online and they ask for help in constructing a query to find content, right? To wade through lots of OER or deep web, academic content, right? And so I'm having a conversation with the American Association of School Librarians and with the ALA, the mothership, the American Library Association, about the idea of seeing if we could do a pilot proof of concept as a phase one, because we're doing this without any funding for it. So we're trying to see if we can get retired librarians who might be interested in volunteering to staff, staff quote unquote, again, as volunteers, but to use LibChats, because on the back end, people can say, well, I'll make myself available synchronously for the following 4 hours every Tuesday afternoon, because these are volunteers. And I think to start, many of them would be retired. But if we get, a dozen or so to start, and again, I'm talking with the national leadership of ALA, but also with the New England School Library Association. We're doing a featured panel with them in a couple of weeks, and they've expressed interest in this. We'd like to see if we could get a help desk in conjunction with MERLOT, Rick and Robbie. If we could have what LibChat allows you to do is, let's say I go on and I'm a teacher or I'm a learner, and I've just gotten one of these refurbished computers with Win 10, and it's got Microsoft Office, and I'm getting support around how to use the device and how to get online and all that, but I want to find information on a health issue or about, let's say I want to access some open education resources on welding or whatever the topic is, right? And the idea is that I'd like to grow a small proof of concept, cadre of volunteer librarians to be reference librarians providing synchronous and asynchronous chat support. Because what LibChat does is, let's say a patron logs on and there's nobody available at that time to give them live support. What it does is it puts their query and contact information in the queue so that the next time a participating librarian logs in, she or he will see a link to that person and then give them a response about helping them construct a query. Does this make sense? And is anything happening like this yet with MERLOT?
Rick, you want to take that?
So, Bob, because we've been working with so many different institutions across the country, 700 community colleges and tech schools with the TAC
Wow.
program with Skills Common, I can speak from the Skills Common side of the house that when people are looking for content, related to workforce training from Skills Commons, they'll query me. They'll send me an email through the support at Skills Commons mailbox, and then I reply to them either synchronously or asynchronously through email, or we set up a time to chat like this. We have a webinar with a consortium, or we'll do a conference call and kind of a screen share like this and walk them through and record stuff and all that. So ours is kind of more as a customized, services, kind of a concierge as people are needing things. So it's more specialized, like you said, like for welding videos, it's safety video for welding, arc welding or something like that, or gas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's kind of more specific. But personally, I'm not familiar with LibChat. I'm sure that CSU has that, and we have a person on our team that's a librarian. In fact, he's over the librarians for the Cal State system and is probably very familiar with what you're talking about. But personally, I don't have much experience in that space.
Well, and it does, and I guess the larger point you've really given me a very helpful answer, which is that you're not really using that tool. You're just really providing that customized support personally. And first off, I'm amazed and impressed that you're doing that. That's extraordinary to me that you're doing that. And because I think that my concern is that as we roll out these devices, for some families, this will be the first time they will have had a computer of their own. And that I really want to make sure I'd rather err on the side of too much support capacity for them around how to use the device, but also how to navigate the content to find what they need. And so this is very helpful. I'd love to know. So it sounds like with Skills Commons that there isn't a kind of a virtual reference desk, except you really are the virtual reference desk. Is that
Yeah.
fair?
Jerry affectionately calls me 1-800-RICK-LUMADOO.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. You are a busy soul. That's amazing.
It really, though, Bob, it's kind of like teaching people to fish. Once they learn, then they can teach other people, and it kind of spreads out that way. And people are really happy to share what they know with folks when they, once they learn something. And so that's been helpful, just kind of the way the tech program is structured and things like that. So, but to your point, though, the question, of, how to help people that are first getting on a device and to navigate and things like that. I mean, to me, I think some of the soft skills that we have on Skills Commons, of how to start up a device, how to get on the internet, how to create an email account, all that kind of stuff would be really, really helpful, as some of those kind of, beginning, software, I don't want to say the entry level things that once they open their device, this is kind of the first things you need to do, starting up this device. You need to learn how to, navigate and use the mouse, those types of things. And we have, courses in Skills Commons that teach the basic stuff about the mouse and the right click and the left click and select and, copy and paste, all that kind of stuff.
So if we were to get, is it okay to get a little bit more in the weeds on that?
Yeah.
Okay. So if we were, one of our other partners, as Robbie knows, is Gen Yes, which is a program that teaches kids in grades 3 through 12 how to provide tech support, right, for the adults around them. So wouldn't it be okay? So I'm thinking of all kinds of synergies here. That this conversation is just clear. It's clear that it's just possible. It's just a matter of getting everybody on the same page and just synchronize. So with Gen Yes, for example, one of the groups I want to connect them with is HUD Connect Home, which is a national network of about 100 public housing authorities around the country that are working to close the digital divide for their low-income residents. And they're doing lovely, lovely work. And they too were working with them on going after an AmeriCorps volunteer grant to grow, to provide training. And it sounds like then one of the things we could do, if you all think this makes sense, is to share with them the training materials on how to use MERLOT Voices, so that we train those local support providers, so that as we start putting free computers in the hands of low and moderate income families, you with me? We can give them, a very integrated package of sort of easy, sort of one-stop shopping support. You with me? So that they have MERLOT Voices, they know how to use it to post a question. I'd like to see again if we can get this, if we can get SpringShare to let us have a free or deeply discounted license to that tool, so that there's virtual reference support. Because Gen Yes kids and the folks, the AmeriCorps volunteers and others and retired librarians all could be helping with queries that people post in that online space that MERLOT Voices could, our digital equity MERLOT Voices space could point to. Does that make sense?
Yes. And Bob, here I just took you to a basic computer skills course that was developed with TAC funding. And you kind of see, like, basically, starting with, ground zero, doing pre-tests, stuff like that, using computing devices, use the mouse, identify computer devices, operate a computer and a printer, and then a computing device test. And then all this is all interactive. There's videos to go with each of these, screen shares, tutorials, all that. But back here is where the item is uploaded into Skills Commons. And what's really neat is here's one that you might consider wanting to put on the devices. This one is an offline version. Let me blow that up. I can see that's not very big. But this was developed for prisons, the prison system in the state of Wisconsin. And there was a few other states that have requested it as well to use in their prison systems to teach folks,
Wow.
But this could be something that you could put on a device, this one here, because it's a 643 megabytes.
Yep,
that's the
offline.
entire course.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah. It's like I'm...
Robbie, do these questions make sense to you?
Yes, Bob. Again, because I know both needs in terms of the digital equity and for MERLOT, that's why in the beginning I just thought this was a match made in heaven, because we're constantly updating the materials. And the one thing that I need to just share, these materials are coming from the rank and file of those in the trenches. It's not from like publishers trying to sell it. And the other thing that I think that should be highlighted, using MERLOT and all of the experts and resources, you also have the opportunity, like today, for free webinars, to call in the experts. And just like with the training of the students, we can do that virtually and walk them through. So in other words, we are geared to meet all of the needs in terms of digital equity.
Just stunning, really. Well, I knew when you suggested it, Robbie, that this is going to be amazing, and sure enough, just really what y'all are doing is really, really lovely. It's really incredibly impressive. Gary, any questions that you have? I don't know if Gary's still online or muted. Well, I guess he'll hop in if he does.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes, I was. This is Gary. I was muted, and I thought I was telling you, but I was muted. I need to get in and play around. That's when I'll have real questions.
Yep, that's true. Yep. That's what we need to do at this point. Yeah, and Bob, I think too, thoughts will keep coming in your mind about new potential ideas and things like that, and how to leverage this platform and some of the other pieces that we have, like the content builder site and all that.
Well, here's another question for you right now. So with this national bank that's poised to start donating about 5,000 plus recently, 3-year-old, so fairly new computers by our lights, right? I mean, these are, as educators, we regard those as just getting broken in, where learners are just learning how to use the operating system in 3 years. And so national banks are refreshing on these devices after 3 years. So we're looking at just one bank is looking to donate these 5,000 computers across 7 cities to start. And these are, or in case any of these sort of pop up and resonate with you in terms of connections you might have, in any of these cities. So Orlando, Dallas and Austin, Texas, Indianapolis, Denver, Phoenix, and Chicago. So those are the 7 cities where I'm thinking that. So I'm thinking both a sort of an umbrella site, if you will, like we talked about a few minutes ago around the National Collaborative and this digital equity work with different states, as pages within that space. I'm thinking similarly to start that we'd have a refurbished, resources for those new to using computer space that would start with a page on this particular national bank. Does that make sense? As a page within that has resources like how to use computer.
Yeah.
Okay. So if that makes sense, then one of the things, if you look at digitalequity.us and you look at our CRA maps link on the homepage there, you see that tab. I think that having that state by state as a page within a refurbishment and start in the 6 states where we've got those 7 cities, where I could build a page for each of those states. So that within that, I could then point to our CRA map, which shows LMI communities, it shows school districts and so on. But we could also point, and I could, with the ALA's help, I'd like to see which of those states are consortium purchasers of academic deep web stuff, so that we can point to the landing page of how to get a library card, how to access that, for that particular state where that's got that. So that we point to both the incredible wealth of what MERLOT and Skills Commons that are offering, as well as where states are already paying for the deep web published databases. Make sense?
Yep. And I'm here in Dallas, so you know.
Oh, nice.
And,
that's good to know.
We have another staff member who's in not far from Denver as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. And I'm thinking, Robbie, if any of those cities resonate for you, that might be really lovely as well. Well, so one of the things that as the last thought on my mind right now is that I want to circle around with Robbie, you and Rick, and also Jerry Hanley around seeing if we can, with that national bank, have a conversation about their beginning to resource support for what you're contributing to the cause on this, because I know that's it's something I took very seriously, about seeing if we could begin to open up some CRA grant support for what MERLOT has been doing under TACT, and seeing if we can help provide some begin to provide a revenue stream for sustaining that work.
Yeah, Bob, that does definitely. And would it be helpful to, you saw on the page there, here where we have the digital resources, right, on the first page. This is where that basic computer skills course is, and you can actually go there and look at that as an example, and maybe you kind of share them. These are the kind of resources that you're talking about that could go on these refurbished devices that we're here to be able to provide, as long as, we're able to keep the lights on and, keep things updated and revised and, curated and things like that. That's where, that piece comes in. I think that would be very valuable for those refurbished devices to have, software like this on it so that people can open it up and have a basic tutorial to go from right out of the get-go to help them with, learning how to navigate their device.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of tutorials, I have a question now. Is there a MERLOT group that orients one to the MERLOT environment? I'm assuming that the group that's up that we've been looking at is for conversations about the content itself. Is there a MERLOT orientation group?
I don't know that for certain. What I do know is that we could do something for you, do a webinar. I could do a MERLOT orientation for you, just me. But I don't know that there's anything formal like that. I think what happens for most folks is they usually, reach out and ask if they could, have some one-on-one time or maybe request that. But I don't know that there's a specific orientation set up for MERLOT other than maybe just kind of an overview video or, start here type thing. But I could definitely, we could definitely set something up like that.
Well, and maybe for starters, just record a Zoom that's specifically about how to navigate and then record it and share it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We could do that. Robbie, are you familiar? I mean, I know there's people at Merlot that probably do that. We could set something up, but do you know of anything off your top of your head? Not sure if you're saying anything, Robbie.
Robbie's
Mic's
muted.
off, muted. Okay, maybe she stepped away, but yeah, we can work on that, Gary. We can figure something out for sure.
Yeah, it might save people some time.
Yeah. I'm just making some notes here. I'm gonna put that in my notes. All right. Anything else?
All I can think of.
Yeah.
This is incredibly helpful.
You got lots of things going on in your brain.
Yeah, I do for sure.
Yeah.
And it's all my own fault, so I have nobody to blame but myself.
Yeah.
You know, myself and my lack of effective medication. So it's Gary will appreciate it. Gary,
you can do.
Oh, this is incredibly exciting. And I see lots of applications of this tool set. And my first blush is that I'm really very impressed with how simple and straightforward the functionality is on this.
Yeah.
This is, I was worried that this might be complicated. I think the learning curve on this is is not steep at all.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Gary, is that your take as well?
Yeah, it looks to me like it's a fairly quick learn. But like I said, I need to get in, take it for a test.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm anxious to do that. And strategically, I think circling back around, Rick, with you about the pages and setting up a national page and then state pages for New Hampshire and then Massachusetts, because that event's coming up. And if any of you can join us on December 7th in Boston for the Mass Summit, that's really starting to shape up to be a really interesting thing. And then Robbie, I'd love to circle back with you on the HBCU gathering next month and find out what, should I come there physically or just do something remote? What from your vantage point makes the most sense? And then just do some follow up with you each.
Sounds good. Bob, if you have any problems, I'm going to keep checking on this. You let me know about you joining this group today. At this point, is that something that you can do, or do you need me to do something on our end to help you?
I think how about if I ping you if I'm stuck?
All right,
but right now I'm sitting in a parking lot in my car because I didn't want to. But when I get back in about an hour, I'll go online, and I anticipate it'll be very simple. But if I get stuck, I'll email you on that.
Yeah, and we can jump on a quick call too if I need to walk you through it. That's no problem. But I also because I want to give you administrator privileges once you're in the group. Okay.
That would be super. Yeah, that'd be great. And okay. Gary, I'd like to circle back around with you and update you on where things are strategically at this point as well.
Terrific.
Sound good?
Yep.
All right. Sounds good. And I'll get back to you, Bob, about adding multiple email addresses as well. Was there anything else, question-wise, about the voices that you guys had?
Not for me.
Yeah, okay.
Well, this is great. Thank you very much for this.
You betcha. All right, everybody. I think we'll go ahead and call it here. Bob, I'll get the link to you as soon as it's uploaded, and then you can send it out to the rest of the group. Okay?
That sounds fabulous. That sounds great. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Take care.
Mm-hmm. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.